Hey gang, Brian here. Want to give you some insight into some things that I'm working on, and maybe it'll be helpful for you. Now, you know, who hates doing PowerPoint slides, right? And oftentimes, right, they're like super boring and all this other stuff. Well, here's something that I've been doing that might really help you put together better PowerPoints. And I learned it from screenwriting. I've been actually studying screenwriting a lot. And what they do in screenwriting is they'll make index cards, okay? And there's not a lot of detail on the index cards, as you can see looking at mine, okay? And this is a webinar that I'm putting together, a seminar that I'm putting together about how to have consistent revenue for small businesses, okay, and entrepreneurs. So people who are, you know, making blogs and they want to make revenue from it, and people who are coaches and consultants and entrepreneurs, you know, or they sell digital services, things like that. That's what this is going to focus on. And so what I did is I wrote out all the things I wanted to say in kind of blurb form, okay? And so I've got my intro, you know, and like who I am and, you know, what the elements are going to be. And then I go through the various elements, right? And so like it would start here and then it goes, you know, through this, etc., etc. And I can move things around, and I numbered them after I was done. But I moved things around, and I actually threw away a whole bunch of cards, okay? And then here's the thing. So before you make a single slide, now you got to ask yourself, you know, when you read this, does it make sense? Does it, you know, is it interesting? Are there places where you get all confused, right, and tongue-tied and whatnot? And so here's what I did. One of the things I wanted to know was how long this presentation was going to be, because I really didn't want a presentation that was more than about 45 minutes, right? 50 minutes, somewhere in there, before I got to the closing part. And so what I did is I would have my cards, okay, and then as I would give my presentation, and as I gave my presentation, I would just flip them over as I got through those ideas, okay? And meanwhile, I had a timer running, okay, and I kind of knew in each section how much time I needed to take. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, okay? So that tells me that, you know, if they're all going to be evenly split, you know, then really no section can be more than 12 minutes. But obviously, like this section is only 3 cards, you know, versus like this section, which is a huge number of cards, right? You know, so really it's more like 3 minutes here and 8 minutes here and 20 minutes here and, you know, so on and so forth, right? So anyway, it might be helpful for you. I mean, if you can see, you know, there's not a lot of information on these cards, but it helps me think through exactly how this is all going to go. And so now all I got to do is write the slides. I've got the presentation done. All I got to do is put together real simple visuals and headlines and whatnot for the slides. And oddly enough, in screenwriting, what they'll do is they'll do this, right? And typically a movie is 90 cards, okay? And they'll write, you know, what the key issue of the scene is, etc., etc. And then they'll go through and they'll write the dialogue based on the cards. And this one guy I was watching on YouTube, he said it could take him 8 months to do his cards, and then he'll actually write a 90-minute play over the weekend, or, you know, 90-minute movie over the weekend. He's like, once I got the cards done, it's all a case of then just writing out the dialogue and everything. I've got my characters, I know their motivations, I know what they'll say, I know how the story's going to go, etc., etc. Anyway, give it a shot next time you have to put together a presentation. It'll definitely make your presentations less boring and flow more easily. I'm Brian Del Monte, and hope to talk to you soon.